We are back. So if you like these videos, be sure to like, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and don't forget to hit the bell at the top to get all notifications. The bright light from the portal flashed in Miles Morales' dark room, where he stood amid a jumble of scientific equipment. Miles, a young man with shiny brown skin and sharp eyes, wearing the familiar black and red Spider-Man suit, clenched his fists as he looked at the glittering artifact, a strange metallic sphere that radiated a pale blue energy. The artifact had once belonged to the Maker, a dangerous villain from the main Marvel universe, and now it had accidentally sent his sister, Billy, into another dimension. Miles took a deep breath, the air around him vibrating as if reality were being ripped apart. He leaped through the portal, his lithe body twisting in the chaotic energy. On the other side of the portal, the scene changed abruptly, the gray sky of an alien world, with ruined high-rise buildings and deserted streets, not a soul in sight. He landed on the cracked concrete, dust swirling around his sneakers. "Billy, where are you?" Miles whispered, his voice echoing in the cold wind, his eyes scanning the dark alleys where neon lights flickered in the rain puddles. In the new Ultimate Universe, everything was different. Miles felt strange. The air was heavier, as if gravity were pressing down on him. He moved quickly, shooting webs from his wrist to swing between buildings, his reflection flickering through broken glass. Below him, the city spread out with old billboards, letters faded by the dust of time. He remembered nothing of his original Ultimate Universe, only a vague feeling, like a distant dream. But the mission was clear. Find Billy, the girl with the curly hair and the bright smile, the sister he had promised to protect. Sneaking through an abandoned industrial area, with its rusted chimneys and dangling wires, Miles hears a strange noise. Two figures appear, a small woman with shimmering bee wings, the Wasp, and a tall man who can shrink, the Ant-Man. They are tracking the energy trail from the artifact. The Wasp hovers around him, her eyes sharp under her mask, while Ant-Man stands tall, a glowing detector in his hand. "Who are you? Maker energy is radiating from you," the Wasp says, her voice echoing like a bee's buzz. Miles raised his hands in surrender, his body tense, but ready to fight. He briefly explained his journey, the image of Billy flashing through his mind like a vivid picture, the little girl playing in the park, laughing loudly before the artifact activated. They decided to join forces for the common goal of fighting the Maker. The three of them moved through the city, shadows stretching beneath them. Under the dim moonlight filtering through the thick cloud cover, Miles' group entered a dense forest bordering Wakanda. Tall trees with thick green leaves obscured the view, roots twisting like giant snakes on the damp ground. Miles swayed on spiderwebs, feeling the slight vibrations from the ground that indicated hidden advanced technology. Wasp flew ahead, her wings shimmering in the light filtering through the foliage, while Ant-Man shrunk to avoid detection, moving like a grain of sand among the grass. They reached the border of Wakanda, an invisible wall of energy that glittered like diamonds in the moonlight. Inside, the city loomed with towering vibranium towers, pale purple light radiating from hovering devices. Black Panther T'Challa stood atop one, his sleek black suit blending with the darkness, his golden eyes gleaming behind his mask. Next to him was Storm, her white hair flowing in the wind, and Eric Killmonger, his muscles rippling under his warrior's cloak. Billy was here, held under their protection. She sat in a bright room, walls made of tempered glass, her eyes wide as she stared out the window at Dora Milaje warriors patrolling with glittering spears. T'Challa studied the artifact, pale blue energy reflecting off his face, Shuri beside him analyzing the data on a holographic screen. As Miles and his allies closed in, the Dora Milaje attacked. Sleek black warriors clad in crimson vibranium armor leaped from the bushes at breakneck speed, their spears swung, streaking silver in the air. Miles dodged, his body springing like a spring, shooting webs to wrap around one warrior. Wasp shrunk and flew into an enemy's ear, causing confusion, while Ant-Man suddenly expanded, knocking another down. Black Panther leaped down, his movements as smooth as a cheetah's, his vibranium claws flashing. "You wear a vibranium armor? Thief!" he growled, his deep voice echoing. Miles explained, the image of his black and red armor reflected in his opponent's claws. In the Wakanda Palace, its walls carved with Black Panthers and illuminated by vibranium, the group meets. T'Challa sits on his throne, his face solemn. Storm stands beside him with a gentle breeze swirling around her. Killmonger watches with his arms folded. Billy runs to hug Miles, tears streaming down her cheeks, her curly hair a mess. They discuss the artifact, Maker energy that could open the prison city soon. Shuri displays the data on a screen, the energy curves undulating like ocean waves. "It resonates with Maker's prison," she says, her voice professional. Miles tells of his universe, a vague memory of the original Ultimates flashing like a blur. Suddenly, a spy reveals herself as a fake Dora Milaje, her eyes gleaming with cunning. She captures Billy, Teleporting away from the palace in a purple light, the group chases through the jungle where leaves rustle underfoot to the border. The spy was stopped by the Silver Samurai, his long sword glinting in the sunlight, his silver armor reflecting the green forest. The Silver Samurai slashed down, blood splattered, the spy fell. He grabbed Billy, disappearing into the darkness. Miles clenched his fists, his determination growing. After leaving the borders of Wakanda, where the scent of damp earth and rotting leaves still lingered on Miles's clothes, his group set off on a new journey toward Japan. The night sky enveloped them, stars glittering like pearls against the mysterious black background, while a full moon illuminated the rugged mountain path. Miles swung on delicate spiderwebs, his body flexing between the branches of ancient cherry trees, red leaves falling like blood rain under the moonlight. May Parker, her golden metal armor reflecting the dim light, jogged below, her steps shaking the gravel ground. Nico Minoru hovered behind her staff, glowing a pale pink, illuminating the narrow, winding paths that led to the distant peak of Mount Fuji. They followed the Silver Samurai through dense forests, where the wind howled through the crevices of the rocks like the whispers of ancient spirits. The scent of cherry blossoms mixed with the smoke from distant Shinto shrines created a mystical atmosphere, making Miles feel as if he were lost in a mythical world. "We must be careful," May whispered, her voice echoing through her armor, her blue eyes scanning the darkness. Nico nodded, her long black hair flying in the wind, her hand gripping her staff as if it were the only source of strength against the surrounding darkness. As they approached the Silver Samurai Tower, a structure of ancient and modern architecture, its soaring floors decorated with bright red neon lights illuminating the night, the clanging of swords echoed in the distance. The tower stood tall among the mountains, its polished granite reflecting the group like ghosts. Silver Samurai, his silver armor gleaming in the light, his long, curved katana, sharpened to the point of cutting through the air, stood guard at the entrance. His eyes, hidden behind a traditional samurai mask, flashed with cold vigilance. The attack began abruptly. Nico chanted a spell, a circle of crimson fire forming around her body, spreading like a heat wave that scorched the air around her. The flames flared up, illuminating her determined face, her hair flying wildly in the hot wind. May charged forward, her armor expanding into a thick metal shield, blocking the slashes from the samurai guards' figures in black yukata, swords gleaming in the neon light. The sound of metal clashing echoed like thunder, sparks flying everywhere. Miles joined in, shooting webs from his wrists, the shimmering white thread wrapping around the legs of his enemies, tumbling them to the gravel ground. He leaped into the air, spinning smoothly, landing on the roof of the tower with a soft thud. From above, he saw Billy trapped in a reinforced glass room, the green light from the artifact illuminating her frightened face, her eyes wide open, staring out through the opaque glass. "Just wait for me, Billy," Miles whispered, his heart pounding like a drum. They penetrated deeper, through long, dark corridors with stone walls carved with winding dragons, red paper lanterns dangling to light the way. The smell of incense mixed with the smell of hot metal made the air heavy. Nico used magic to shatter the glass falling to the floor like sparkling crystals. May hugged Billy, her armor hugging her tightly, shielding her from the flying glass. But at that moment, a magical portal opened in a bright purple light, and magic stepped out of nowhere. Ileana Rasputin, her golden hair flowing in the magical wind, her long black cloak billowing, her soul sword glowing blue like a scythe. Her eyes flashed with fury, her face pale in the magical light. "The girl belongs to me," she growled, her thick Russian accent echoing through the hallway. Magic swung her sword, creating black cracks in space that swallowed the air around her. Nico responded with a barrier, a pale pink shield forming that clashed with the sword, creating purple-red sparks. May protected Billy, her armor expanding into a wall, the metal screeching as she blocked. Miles swung between the ceilings, shooting webs to wrap around Magic's arms, but she teleported away in a flash, reappearing behind him with a cold smile. They fought their way through the floors, from narrow hallways to vast rooftops, where the mountain wind howled in their ears and light snow fell, blurring their vision. Billy trembled in May's arms, her eyes looking at her brother with a glimmer of hope. Finally, Magic caught Billy, teleported her away in a blinding light, leaving the group in the silent darkness, the only sound being the wind and heavy breathing. The sky was gray, heavy black clouds blocking the sun, creating a gloomy atmosphere like a frozen hellscape. Miles and May moved through the vast snowfield, their footprints imprinted in the soft snow, their breath turning into white mist floating in the cold air. Nico had stayed behind to support from afar, her magic sending signals through the space, sparkling like tiny particles of light in the snow wind. They approached Magic's base, a sturdy fortress with thick concrete walls reinforced with steel, headlights sweeping across the white snow illuminating the dark night. Inside, Ileana Rasputin sat on the cold iron throne, the soul sword placed beside her, the blade emitting a pale blue light, illuminating her fierce face. Colossus stood beside her, his silver metal body gleaming under the fluorescent lights, his muscles rippling like a bronze statue. Omega Red whipped his red tentacles around the air, the smell of metal mixed with the pungent smell of blood making the air suffocating. Billy was held in a glass cell, her hands and feet bound with purple energy ropes, her face pale in the cold light, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Mister! Miles! Save me!" she whispered, her trembling voice echoing through the glass. Miles and May attacked from outside. He's shooting webs to wrap around the guards' figures in gray uniforms, rifles gleaming in their hands. May charged, her golden armor smashing through the iron door, the warped metal echoing like a monster's roar. They charged in, facing Magic. The fight was fierce. Magic opened the gates of hell, black ghosts rising from the cracked concrete floor, swallowing the air. Miles dodged, spinning in midair, webs shooting out like white webs. May blocked, her armor vibrating with the power of Magic. Magic was more aggressive than ever, her eyes bloodshot, her sword slashing through the dark space. "There is no mercy in this universe," she shouted, her voice echoing through the snow that seeped through the crack in the door. Miles remarked, "She's different from Storm in the way I know her to be strong, but not merciful." They couldn't communicate well in battle. Miles used hand gestures, May understood and coordinated, punching Magic in the back, sending her reeling. Suddenly, Emmanuel DaCosta appeared through Blink's teleport, a girl with purple hair and a black cloak, the ability to teleport in a pink glow. Longshot was beside her, his blonde hair messy, a lucky smile on his face, the power to bend fate and deflect enemy attacks. Emmanuel, with a sinister face, a jet black beard, and a shiny black suit, stepped out like a shadowy overlord. "This girl is the key," he said, his voice deep and resonant. He took Billy, teleporting away in a flash of light, leaving the group in disarray. The group chased to Maker's prison city, a giant spherical structure suspended in midair, its gray metal surface reflecting the gray clouds, pale blue energy emanating from the cracks like lifeblood. The city spun slowly, its hum echoing like the whispers of a giant monster. Emmanuel arrived first, activating the artifact in a lit central room, its polished metal walls reflecting his sinister face. The Ultimates emerged, young Iron Lad Tony Stark in his gleaming red and gold armor, She-Hulk with her green muscles rippling, Captain America with his silver star shield, and Dr. Doom with his iron mask covered, his blue cape fluttering. They charged into battle, She-Hulk punching Emmanuel, the impact sounding like thunder. Emmanuel uses mutant blood, optic blasts shoot from his eyes, red flashes sweep across. Telepathy plunges Ileana into a fiery hellscape surrounded by snarling monsters. He takes control of Miles, leaps into his mind, memories flood back. The 1610 universe collapses. Buildings crumble under a fiery sky, heroes fall in dust. Miles escapes, touches, spider, 42 inches the rubble. A small spider with a shiny black body, legs trembling on the metal floor. The memories are clear. The bite in the dark lab, the blue light from the test tube shining on his skin. Peter Parker's death in the pouring rain, blood mixed with rainwater. The original Ultimates fighting in the bustling New York sky. In Miles' chaotic mind, images from the past rushed back like a raging flood, sweeping away all barriers. He saw the original Earth 1610 universe collapse under a fiery sky, tall buildings tilting and crumbling into huge piles of rubble, dust rising to block out the Sunday. Heroes fell one by one, their bodies lying motionless on the cracked ground, blood mingling with ash. Molecule Man stood in the middle of the chaos, his body glowing with golden energy like a god, his soulless eyes scanning the devastation. Miles felt the old fear rising, his heart pounding like a drum in his chest, his breath coming in gasps like a storm. He broke free from Emmanuel's control, his body trembling but his determination burning. The Ultimates charged into the final battle, Iron Lad flying in his red gold armor, glistening in the blue light from the prison city, shooting golden energy beams that swept across his enemies. She-Hulk lunged forward, green muscles rippling under her shiny skin, her massive fist slamming into Emmanuel's chest, the impact echoing like thunder, shaking the metal floor. Captain America threw his silver star shield, the shield spinning through the air at breakneck speed, blocking the red optic blast from his eyes. Dr. Doom stood behind him, his iron mask covering his face, his hand raised, summoning pale blue magic, forming an invisible shield around the group. Emmanuel collapsed on the cold metal floor, mutant blood flowing from his blood bags like crimson rivers, spreading across the shiny surface reflecting chaotic light. He gasped, his sinister face pale, his jet black beard sticky with blood. Magic looked around, her eyes flashing with hesitation. Then she opened the purple teleport gate, disappearing into the void with a blinding light, leaving a howl of wind through the space rift. Miles stood up, his body aching, but his mind clearer than ever. He touched Spider 42, its small body black in the dim light, its legs trembling on the cracked metal floor like a creature from the past. The memories returned in full force. The first bite in the dark lab, the blue light from the test tube shining on his skin, the pain spreading like fire, Peter Parker's death in the pouring rain, hero blood mixing with rainwater on the wet streets of New York, the original Ultimates fighting in the vibrant sky, hero silhouettes flying through the dark clouds, energy exploding like fireworks. The Ultimates collected catalysts, square Genesis boxes, glowing pale yellow, the metal surface etched with unfamiliar symbols, energy vibrating gently in the air. Tony Stark, in Iron Lad form, ran to check, his armor crackling as he moved, the holographic screen flashing with data. "We took them, but we have to hide them," he said, his voice youthful but determined. Miles suggested, "I can take them back to my universe, give them to the Avengers. They will protect them from the Maker." The team agreed, their faces glowing with hope in the blue light from the city. Dr. Doom approached the artifact, his hand gliding across the metal surface, reverse engineering complex technology. His iron mask reflected the blue light, his blue cape billowing in the breeze from the energy. "The Maker's technology is complex, but I understand it," he said, his deep voice echoing through the iron. Miles talked to him, the image of Dr. Doom standing firmly in the middle of the large room, surrounded by metal walls like a giant prison. He revealed about Maker. He used to be Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic in my original universe. A hero, but corrupted. Dr. Doom was shocked, realizing that he was a tortured version of Reed Richards, his iron face concealing chaotic emotions, his eyes flashing with deep contemplation. Finally, the space portal opened, a dazzling white light swirling like a tornado, sucking Miles and Billy. He hugged his sister tightly, Billy trembling in his arms, her curly hair messy and sweaty, her eyes wide open, looking at her brother with joy and fear mixed. They stepped through the portal, the scenery changed. From the gray prison city to the vibrant New York of the main universe, high-rise buildings shining with bright neon lights, the streets bustling with cars and pedestrians. Miles returns to life, but his new memories change him forever. He looks out at the starry night sky, the catalyst safe in his hands, ready for future challenges. Billy smiles beside him. The world is at peace again, but the Maker's shadow still hovers like a warning. So guys, that's it for now. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Love you.